The timeline has been destroyed and Loki is on his most excellent adventure to get them back together and go back far enough to save everyone. But can he slip through time fast enough to do it? What's up, Nerdgenic Nation and fellow true believers? Superhero nerd Aaron Waller here, and today I want to give my thoughts on the penultimate episode, episode 5, of season 2 of the Marvel Disney Plus series Loki. And this episode sees the aftermath of the temporal loom, ending everything by leaving Loki to traverse the various timelines in his sporadic time-slipping way, and gather the team together to try and go back far enough to save the whole universe. And to be honest, this episode was kind of largely what I thought it was going to be, with Loki having to get the band back together, and the OB that he ends up finding even literally says that phrase.
We get the band back together.
But this episode, like the majority of the season and honestly the MCU as of late, was not my jam. But then again, the MCU is in shambles. I'm sorry, I just had to get that out really quick because all the bandwagon nerds have been saying that phrase since the Variety article came out, and I just couldn't miss my chance to do it. I just didn't want to make a whole video about it and make you guys have to deal with that. But anyway, this episode served really no purpose other than being that of the lacking episode before the finale, which Marvel and pretty much Disney as a whole has started to become really known for. But it was just sort of used to answer the question of what's Mobius's deal with the jet skis, while trying to tell a road trip style time travel story, which Bill and Ted did way better back in 1989.
Excellent!
Though the area that I will give them credit for is that OB was once again the most interesting character for me. Not only was he the one with a semi-fleshed out story that was told through exposition or not, but he was the only one, once again, doing something for the entire episode. He was trying to sell his book, and then he created a temp pad that allowed Loki to recruit the remaining members of the team, while also sacrificing everything in his own personal life in the process. And then there's everybody else, like Casey escaped Alcatraz, B-15 was a doctor who was actually named after a good friend and Loki companion from the comics, so I thought that was interesting, and Mobius was just sort of along for the ride, probably just to get away from his kids, even though, like any good father, he really does love them. And for whatever unknown reason, Sylvie just went back to chilling at McDonald's. No one in this story was contributing anything except OB and Loki. And Loki was only doing so out of desperation and the fact that he couldn't control his time slipping. And in the meantime, OB is out here doing the real work of not only giving his outlandish ideas that come to fruition in his own oracle sort of way, but also making the things that they need to gather everyone together. And to be honest with you, I think they should probably change the synopsis of this episode and probably the entire season to be everyone runs around like chickens with their heads cut off or hands in their pockets, while OB does all the real work. And sometimes Casey or Victor Timely help too. But one major positive that I will definitely give this episode was Sylvie in the record store. That was probably the only decent scene in this entire episode. It was a little Guardians of the Galaxy-esque, but it was pretty cool having a deeply sad yet awesome song play in the Velvet Underground's Oh Sweet Nothing. And if there's a handful of scenes that will stick to me in this series, this will definitely be one of them. And it was largely thanks to the music and the journey that we see go across Sylvie's face more than any of the visual aspects of it. But really, that was all I did like about the episode. Hey, editing Aaron here. So I totally forgot about this part until I was obviously editing the video. So something that made me actually laugh kind of in this episode was the whole sequence where Loki's trying to time slip on purpose in front of OB. And essentially it reminded me of two things. One of which being the obvious Marvel connection with Tobey Maguire trying to initially use his webs in the first Spider-Man movie on the rooftop, which I thought was hilarious. When he's like, "Go web, go," and Shazam and all that stuff, hilarious. But then another thing it reminded me of was actually Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds when he's initially trying to make the suit appear in front of Taika Waititi's character. I forgot about this sequence, but it made me laugh again when I was editing this video, so there's another plus in the category of episode 5, but that was it. Back to the video. And to be honest, I'm extremely happy that the season is ending next week, because that means I can stop with the torture and move on to something that will at the very least be more entertaining but hopefully better told. Because as we know, the MCU is in shambles. Sorry, I just had to do it one more time to get it out of my system. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Season 2, Episode 5 of Loki, and now I want to hear from you in the Nerdgenic community. What did you think of this episode? Did you enjoy Loki's excellent adventure? Did you feel like the episode served a purpose in the overall story? And did you like the record shop scene? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos, as well as my thoughts on the next episode of Loki. And also be sure to give us a follow across all social media platforms at Nerdgenic. That way you don't miss out on any special news, announcements, or articles at nerdgenic.com. But in the meantime, if you want even more video content from us, check out our most recent video right over here. Or for more Marvel content, check out this playlist right over here. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.